Yeah, good morning, all. So we are into the SAP ABAP programming. Almost prerequisite topics are completed. IT, ERP, SAP ABAP project, consultant roles, FSTS, all the stuff, project types, system landscape completed. So we are into currently architecture. Architecture is first I introduced client server, then after R1 advantages, limitations, then a comparison of R1 to R2, R3, and the entire architecture, right? Then on top of that, we have discussed like there are two things. One is the architecture in detail. This is current topic. Yes. Okay. Then this is the older one. Here we can add something. Yesterday already explained. So we are discussing advantage of R3, limitations, everything almost comparison study completed. Now, the three layers or three tiers are equally important because each layer is having, okay, each layer having its unique purpose and yes, nature of responsibility. So let's take this example, this one. Okay, so this is called as data access layer, access area, data accessing purpose it is used, nothing more than that. This is middle layer is data processing area. Processing purpose only we are using this. Then if you go scroll down, data storage area. This is about three tiers or three layers overall. Okay. Yes. This explanation also completed. Now we have to study in detail of R3 architecture. Once you because in 1992 onwards, almost SAP R3 product or architecture through only SAP implemented with many clients. Then later in 2010, HANA came, architecture little changed, S4 HANA and all. Okay, but the core remains same. Core is always remains same. That's why we have to come from the beginning to till date. That's what our approach. Okay, so once we go to this R3 in detail discussion, in R3 in detail discussion, yes, this is your users are at the one end, okay, database is on another end. This is the difference. So users, this database is not aware of which user is accessing this data, okay. Vice versa, users are not aware of where my data getting stored. This both. But one more thing I said, what is the advantage of this special design? This special design is users cannot access the data, cannot uh, directly fetch the data or retrieving data, or else direct data creation, updation, modification, deletion. All these activities users want to do directly, it is not allowed, not supported, not possible because they have to first because they cannot connect to the database directly. That is the main advantage. So this middle layer, processing zone, processing area is plays important role. So these all users are first connect to the application. Application in turn processing to your request. Your request might be you means a consultant or user because anyone SAP mostly work by consultants or users. Okay. all module functional consultants, ABAP and basis consultants, and all department users. That's all. But whoever they are logging in by this way only, the login procedure is remains same. Once they connect to the application, hardly in SAP any user or consultant they do what type of activity first inserting data. Inserting data is nothing but
Sir, no voice, sir.
yeah. So there was a interruption. Right. Now I connected to the hotspot. Right. Now are able to hear me? Okay. Can you hear me now? Hello. Please confirm. Can you hear me or not? Hello. Can you hear me now? There is a disturbance. Then the net also, power also, both at a time. So yeah. S- No, are you able to hear me?
Voice,
Hello, fine.
voice breaking.
No, no, it's totally. Now, can you hear me or not?
Yeah, now okay.
Fine. So, okay, please mute, please. Okay. So sorry for the interruption. There was at a time power and the net disconnected. So we were into like where this user's point of view. So the users are one end, database is another end. Users are connecting to the application interconnect to the database. What is the this design advantage is that users cannot interact with DB directly, and the users are validated first whether they have authorization to perform this activity. If these users are authorized, then system allows you to do that. Most of the time, either consultants or users, they do four types of activity. Database point of view. First activity is writing to data. Writing data is nothing but inserting new data into the tables. Okay. Second one, that is when you go for sales order create, purchase order create, or customer master record create, vendor master record, new records you are creating. New data gets updated respect to tables. Okay, otherwise, we are editing or modifying existing customer. Suppose the customer details are wrong, vendor details are wrong, you want to edit. So if you want to edit, again you have to fetch the data, the backend data to the front end and do perform the editing, modifying. That is second activity. Or else the third one is so if you want to edit, first we have to fetch it. So that means creating record, fetching record, then modifying record, at the last time deleting records. So that's all. So there are only four types of activities we do on the database. Yes, that is nothing but insert, inserting data, creating new record, update or modify, modification of existing record. Then fetch means fetch or retrieve data. Then again finally delete data. So overall data means yes, delete, insert data, update data, yes, fetch data, and delete data. These four operations we do on the database. Okay, yes, right. Next, that's it. In SAP simplified way, you if you want to understand, this is the architecture. So whatever the activity, it should belongs to any one of these four only. That's it. Database point of view. Okay. Suppose you are creating a sales order. Let us consider this sales order data you create. It is updating to SAP SD module sales order table. If you fetch, we are fetching the data from that table. Modify, again it is writing, rewriting, overwriting to the same table. Or deleting means deleting record from the table. So this is the way we can interact with SAP SDT sales order. Similarly, purchase order. So if you go to the other user want to work with materials management purchase order, say, but this time it is going to update other table. So first when purchase order is created, it is going to write to one table. Okay, because but user is only aware of purchase order transaction code, purchase order screens through user saves. When save the save result, it is updating to the respective table. Right. Again, purchase order changes. So if user want to change, they cannot change at the table directly. They have to fetch from the database to the front end and they do perform the change. So when they change and save, this changes also gets updated. Then finally delete. So this is the way back and forth operation. Back and forth means these are all, it is not unidirection, it is bidirectional. Bidirection means yes, we are reading from database, reading from database, writing to database. Yes, both is from database to application, two directional, bidirectional, multi-directional. But if you come to the presentation to application also multi-directional. This all those stuff. It is not single. It is both read and write. Okay, input and output. So basically, presentation is basically used for I slash O. Technically, we call it as presentation. Yes, presentation is used. Okay, so presentation is used to perform I slash O operations, input slash output operations. Okay, yes. So I said there are two things: insert, update, or modify, and delete. These three activities are one set. These three are one set. But the other way is fetch or retrieve. Fetch data, retrieve data. Okay, yes, or selecting data. That happens by select statements or select query. Yes. Okay. So hope you are slowly getting understanding the SAP technical dimensions. So it's very simple. Not only this, all applications in the industry works in this manner only. So if you know architecture, it's very simple and you will understand everything. So yesterday explained what is SAP. It is a front end also. SAP logon pad also. So this is your SAP logon. It is configured to SAP logon through it is configured to development, quality, and production servers. Okay. Yes, one logon through you can configure to different clients also. So SAP logon, yes, using SAP logon, yes, yes, or else SAP logon pad can be configured, hmm, can be configured to several clients. Several clients. This is multiple clients. Logon pad is only one, but you can connect it to multiple clients. Second one, even SAP logon can be configured to can be configured to okay one client customer related development slash quality slash production servers. Okay, all those stuff, right? So this is also possible. Yesterday I explained. Yes, you can see here multiple clients it is configured, and even each client development quality production boxes also it is configured. That is SAP log on pad or front end. Just okay. Yes, this is what yesterday explained and shown to you. Okay, we will try to log in and discuss also today, right, in the upcoming topics. Okay, so this is about your overall the presentation in detail concept explained each line. Each line, yes. Once we log in and I'll go with SAP screen navigation topic. At that time, you will come to know much more in depth, like each option by option. How does SAP supports the user-friendly features and all? We will discuss, right? Right. Next. So, anyone have any questions? You can ask at the end of the topic. Otherwise, you can write down in the our WhatsApp group so that we will reply because we are going in depth of this topic. Presentation is completed. Yesterday already completed. I just revise it today. Right. Application we have to discuss in detail and depth. That's why temporarily I'm keeping it hold. Yes. Now we are moving to the database. So database is only used for data storage. So lakhs of tables are there. Each table is identified because in database, if something is available, that is there in the table format only. Because yes, this is what you have to understand. Without table, no data can be stored. Outside table, you cannot save the data. Everything must be saved and stored permanently in the database layer in the tables format only, right? This is about your overall, and as a part of integrity rules, this as per the functional dependency based, because there is a concept of that EF card rules. They will how these tables designed. First, tables are independently created based on the what happens dependency based. The tables are related or connected. Yes. Remove the duplicate record, duplicate columns, and all. Finally, they will come to the master detail table relationship or a header and item tables relationship. SCP point of view. Header table, item table. So are connected like this. Okay. Yes, that all depends on SAP understanding point of view. They developed many tables. So what happens? Apart from the database, yes, database stores, yes, database consists of two types. Okay, tables, SAP tables by default, tables and data. Okay, some tables when we purchase SAP software, some tables comes with data, some tables comes with empty tables. So those tables we have to add it here. How to add and all I will tell you. Yes. Because in SAP, what kind of data we can store, everything we will discuss. Okay, SAP point of view. Right. Now, coming to the yes, database also. Uh, yeah. So database also consists of what? Additional okay, newly created white tables or white tables or G tables also. Right. Okay. Yes, this is tables and its data, respective data. The table holds data. So this is about your overall additional. So how does this data storage happens is like apart from the standard tables, we can also create new table, additional tables. But how to create table? Because you cannot go and create table directly in the database. Tables are also created in the at application level. You have workbench, a web development workbench. In this, okay, yes, this is your web development workbench. In this development workbench, here there are so many tools are there. This is integrated with many tools. One of the tool is like kind of data dictionary. So that is called as DDIC. Okay. One of the tool is that DDIC. Data dictionary is one of the tool. Like similarly, if you go to ABAP editor is there, that is another tool. So this is integrated with so many tools. Yes. Editor is a tool. Okay, ABAP editor. Similarly, we have okay, like kind of other things are there. Class builder, function builder, body builder, like that. So many tools are there. These tools through we will perform the okay. So there is a class builder is also there. Class builder and as well as body builder, function builder. So many tools used for a lot of purpose. So function builder, right? We will talk on that part later. But coming to the current topic is data dictionary or a ABAP dictionary through these tables can be created. Okay, so yes, that's obviously that is our core topic: how to create a new tables, how to work with built-in tables, and so this is about overall database. But we have to discuss one important topic in the database. What exactly it is? So in database, I said database can be database can be SQL server because I told you it could be Sybase also, it could be Ingress also, okay, or else it could be DB2 also DB4 of Microsoft data IBM database, and finally here it could be Oracle or what next HANA HDB. HANA database also. So earlier we SAP supports different databases, but slowly SAP recommending uh, all these database whoever so using non-SAP databases, they were recommended to switch to SAP HANA because of the HANA and HANA features. They can move to SAP HANA. That is the recommended approach. Okay, migrating also. Initially, when data HANA introduced, it was very cost, but now it is less. That's why they are introducing. Right. Then finally, this is very important topic. One-time discussion. Yes. So what is this? Like in the database, okay, the database could be any database. So database, there is a special area called repository. Repository. So that is nothing but repository is nothing but a large size table. Large size table which stores all repository objects information. Yes, we are getting into more technical. Yes. So, a repository is a collection of repository. Yes. A repository is a collection of a repository objects data. Okay. What exactly it is? So, if you go to TADIR table is a repository table actually. Okay, the table which begins with the T. T means that is a system table which stores the yes. This is so. What is the meaning of this particular repository? We have to understand. So if you go to here, I am writing a repository table in a separate color so that you will understand. This is a kind of large size table. Okay. Yes, this is called as a repository table. Okay. It is the repository table. Yes. That is TADIR table. Yes. So this table exists by default from SAP itself because the table begins with the TR built-in tables which comes with SAP by default. Like so, this is why it is called as a special table. Why the special discussion on this apart from other tables? Why? Because this is very very important for us to understand. Yes. So a repository is a special area in the database. It could be Oracle or DB2 or Sybase or even HANA also. Only one table named as TADAR that is there, large size table. So what it holds? Repository table, yes, it is a collection of repository objects. So now I am switching to repository objects, information or data it stores. So what is that repository object? So repository objects. Object is okay. What is repository object is the object which is identified by unique name. Okay, yes, unique name. So repository objects. Okay, repository objects are two types. Yes, this classification is important. So I'm going to write. There are two types of repository objects. First repository object is yes, okay, predefined, predefined repository objects versus yes, custom defined. Okay, customer defined. Okay, repository objects because when very important when we said object, you should not get confused. It is a object oriented. Oops, also we use the word called as object, but in fact that is different. This is different. This is repository point of view object. Actually, ABAP consultant daily works with the repository object only. Yes, ABAP role is daily we are working with repository objects only. So the list of repository objects we will take. Repository objects, okay, objects are. What are the repository objects? So first of all, a database table itself is a repository object. Okay, but not the data. That's table structure. Okay, yes, yes, table structure, right? Next, not only database table, there are some structures are there, structures and views and data element and domains all are considered as repository objects. Like if you consider all programs are repository objects, then all function modules are considered as repository objects. Then actually there is a concept of packages. All packages are repository objects and moreover all global classes are repository objects. Then all forms, the script form, smart form, Adobe forms are also repository objects, right? But there is some screens. Screens are sub objects. Screens and menus are sub objects of programs. This is the connection you have to understand. So, ABAPer daily work with these objects only. So that is ABAP role is to work with repository objects. So you have to know from the day one itself what is that repository objects. That's why I'm introducing. Okay, just the working ABAPers, they were not aware of where is our data getting stored and all. No, just because majority they are not clear with architecture part dimension. So that's why I'm giving more clarity, which is helpful to the topic. So this are all about your repository object. So yes, everything is a repository. So I'm going to classify the repository object features. Now, what is this particular like okay differences is repository objects can be classified as yes two types. That is nothing but yes. So first, predefined repository objects are developed by SAP. Predefined objects developed by SAP. So SAP developed objects, predefined objects, or we can call it as SAP defined objects, or else we can also call it as built-in built-in repository objects. All those two we can. Right. When we go to the custom objects, custom repository objects are is additional objects. Additional objects created by customer. Customer cannot create. Customer and ABAPer can create all those things. This is about so there are two types. If you consider objects, SAP defined or customer defined, two things you have to. So okay, all SAP defined objects, SAP defined objects, repository objects can be opened in display mode only. This is one of the important feature. Second one, display mode. But on other hand, this is all customer defined, objects, new objects, additional objects can be can be opened in change mode, change slash display mode. Yes. So what is this difference? So SAP created many programs, lakhs of programs I will show. But all those programs are given to us because when the customer purchases, everything is given to us. It is given to us in a lock mode. So this display mode is a kind of lock mode. So that means you can view, you can see, you can view, you can review, you can debug, you can copy. All these things we can do it. But you cannot open directly in change mode. That means changes are not allowed here. We are allowed to open and see in display mode only. Yes, everything. You take all SAP defined tables and programs and forms and screens, everything you are allowed to open in display mode. Okay, display mode in other terms, it's a kind of read only mode. Read only is nothing but only you are authorized to read only. You cannot do the change. Changes are not allowed. This is the first and foremost important thing you have to understand. These are all rules are applicable to entire SAP, complete SAP. Right. Coming to the second one, when we create additional objects, YRG objects, you can create it, you can change it, you can display it, everything. The difference is in change mode. changes are allowed. In display mode, changes are not allowed. Okay, this is about difference. So next, hope you guys understand this difference. Coming back, what next? Like predefined objects, namespace. So namespace is very important. Namespace is called as like all SAP defined okay objects built in. Built in means which comes with SAP predefined, already defined by SAP. So I use three words: SAP defined, predefined, or built in. All similar meanings. Okay, you have to. So all SAP defined objects name begins with or starts with E A B C D till X. Okay, A to X we can call it. Actually, in fact, A to Z. SAP can use A B C D till Z. That is total 26 letters. Correct. Everything they can use, but in fact, we will go with A to X, right? SAP in A to X only, they allocated some like table name begins with the letter this one for SD, this one for MM, this one for PP, QM. This way they have segregated or classified. Okay, classified like that. That is called as namespace concept. But SAP also created some YRG tables, YRG programs are also. That's why they have full complete authorization. They can make use of all the available namespace. Yes, but on the other hand, this is our namespace. What is namespace comparison? Is all customer defined or user defined, or else okay, you can go for yes, we can go for a vapor only can be created because you. I will tell you one small thing because if I say user, so see functional consultants from from this one implementation partner side, but users are there at the right side, you client side. But for ABAP consultants, hmm, okay, ABAP consultants are there from left side, correct? But is there any users are ABAP users are there? No ABAP users. Even basis consultants, yes, consultants are there left side, but right side, no. So that means actually users only trained the daily functional activities only. Okay, but sorry for the deviation. But I want to clarify this additional. We'll come back there. Okay, so ABAP because mostly I functional consultant they do configuration activity based on their configurations. Users were trained users limited scope screens. They will use it. But ABAP we don't train ABAP to the users. We don't teach or try to basis to the users. Okay. So users end, nobody is there to take care of the technical stuff. Even functionals also, no. That's why users always they will escalate to the functional issue, ABAP issue, even the basis issue, everything they cannot solve or resolve on their own. Okay, right. I actually forgot to say one statement that also I'll cover here. Suppose this users means core companies, core industries, right? Core industries means textile, tobacco, electrical, electronic, automobile industries. These industries are working 6 days a week, But the left side, IT companies are working only 5 days a week. Correct? So what exactly happening is, suppose user got one issue on let's take Friday evening. User got issue. So what happened? They escalated to the consultants. By the time all these consultants are already left the office, they did not look at their issue. So the Friday evening issue raised. Saturday, Sunday, we don't get any response from the council because it is off for them, IT company point of view. Then Monday morning also they don't. Monday morning they come to office and they look at the issue, and hardly you may get the resolution by Monday evening. So you look at the practical flow. Friday evening issues started. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So far they have to wait for 3 days for the issue resolution, isn't it? This is the fact. So this is it's not like the limitation. The IT companies runs 5 days a week. The core industries works 6 days a week. So that means actually these companies, okay, they have to dependent on, as long as they are using SAP, they have to depend on any one of the IT company. If not Accenture, they will go to the HP, IBM, Wipro, other companies they have to. But any one of the company, implementation company, maybe the support or other support companies they can give. So now the current trend is changing slowly. What is the trend is, rather than depending on the IT companies, the the clients or customers are directly recruiting ABAPers, basis and functional consultants also directly at their client place only. So directly, we will get the job in client place only directly. We are going to office directly the client place only. Okay, this is the current trend. Why? Because if you are part of the client, you will also work 6 days a week, but you will get a little more pay. But the facilities at client place are different. Facilities at a IT company is different. IT flow, IT way and style of nature of working is different. The client style way of working is different. So, got it? That's why I can tell you an example. I have seen one paper advertisement, full size paper advertisement. What is that? The Tata Motors Jamshedpur. They have given that mechanical engineers, core industry, all kind of positions in their plant, shop floor, different positions. Okay, complete full page ad advertisement. But at the bottom, they mentioned that for all the above positions, there is a star. This like conditions apply. For all the above positions, apart from your core experience, you are expected to have SAP knowledge also. Yes, SAP knowledge is preferred. That's not mandatory. If the core the engineers, if they have SAP knowledge, then that is advantage for them. It is a add-on, additional knowledge to them. Because why that advertisement is like that? Because that company already runs in SAP. That's why whoever they are recruiting, they are looking for those guys. They are all actually core industry. They work in plant. They work in other departments. But expected is they have to have SAP knowledge. At least end user knowledge. They have to aware of IT, computers and softwares and SAP work experience. Minimum user experience at least. So this is the current trend. Okay. So again, that's the reason I said from initial days, if you go back to my previous days flows, There are three types of companies we already discussed. Correct. Here I explained somewhere. Yes, this is the play. This is the flow. Three companies. All product-based companies you can expect job. All consulting companies also you can expect. All core industries also you can expect job. So I said, how many product-based companies are product-based? Product-based are some thousands of companies are there, just like that. And again, consulting companies are some lakhs, okay, 1 lakh, 2 lakh. But the core industries are many. SAP already implemented 4 lakhs, but other many companies are there. So that means as on today, you have 5 lakhs above companies are waiting for you. But across globe, 5 lakhs companies are there for you. You may be ABAP or basis or functional. These many companies are there. They are looking for a job. But see, first 6 months we do job course. Second 6 months we do job search. But people are more serious when they go for learning. But they have to be more active, enthusiastic while job search also. So by end of the course, we will discuss more on the job search strategies. Separate 1 hour we will discuss. So at that time, I will give more add-on additional stuff also. Okay, that's what. No worries. There are a lot of jobs are there. If you go to Naukri wants to search for fresher jobs, directly you will get a fresher jobs. Okay, that's what about small deviation. Yes, right. We are back to the predefined versus custom objects comparison. Like in comparison, you have two types: SAP objects versus custom objects or customer defined objects. Right. So all customer defined objects name. It is I am writing must begins with. So here I did not use the word must because okay, here must begins with either Y or Z. So Z is pronounced as Z, Y or Z, Z objects. So that's why Abapar is responsible in these two letters also. Okay, mostly preferred letter is Z, the G only. Okay, this is what. So hope you understand the differences, but still I will try to give much more differences so that it is a one-time discussion. Yes. Next, all SAP, uh, all SAP defined means created. SAP created objects belongs to belongs to SAP defined packages. So there is a concept of package. SAP packages begins A to X, SAP objects begins with A to X. So this is actually called as reserved namespace. Okay, reserved means it is you cannot touch this namespace by mistake also. But there is a some special some customer specific namespace is also there. Namespace is a specific topic in basis. Okay, customer specific namespace also there. Correct. That is also possible. A customer specific means I don't want to start with YRC. I said I want to begin everything with BMW underscore. So this way, some customers are then very specific about that name convention. In that case, they have to go to the approach to SAP. They have to get the approval from SAP. Then, then like if SAP approved, they can go with their special naming conventions. Right. Then switching to the next topic, like all customer customer defined. customer created objects. Okay, objects. Okay, all customer defined objects belongs to customer defined packages. Customer defined packages, or else there is a one more package called as $TMP, temp package. $TMP package. What is that? We will discuss in the upcoming topic. Okay, so because I am talking on object features. So what is object feature? Object created by whom? What is the object namespace? Okay, object belongs to which package? Object can be opened in which mode? Develop display mode or change mode. These are all the differences, right? Then every object have unique name, I said, because duplicate names are not allowed. Suppose many tables, but each table name is unique. Duplicate, no, it's immediately it says that with this name table already exists. Even the program also, function model also, everything it should be unique. And moreover, there is some small this thing like SAP. Yes, names are available in German language. Yes. Sometimes, but but descriptions are in English. Okay, descriptions are in English. So this is another type of, yes, because since SAP, some programs names, function modules name, classes are in German only. German means actually we can, well, sometimes descriptions are also in English or German. Yes, because they're okay. But okay, we always create in English only. We don't know other language. We'll create. So names are available in English only. So again, I said, whoever knows the other foreign languages, they are on demand, particularly German language, SCP pointer. Right, coming to that. So suppose there is a question of some descriptions are there in still in Germany only, German language only. They don't have time or I don't know, they have not changed to English. So what we do? Generally we go to Google Translator. As you everybody, this is when you working in SAP, you have to know this. Google Translator. Yes, go to Translator. Yes, choose choose the language left side, or else you type it directly, it will automatically take. So the detect language, left side language is German, right side is English. Okay, this way, this is the frequently we copy paste a paragraph also, a short description also. We'll paste here. We will get the English description. Accordingly, this is we daily use this while working in SAP. Okay. Yes. Yes, this is also important. Second, next after that timestamp. So what is the meaning of timestamp? Timestamp is nothing but 1 second, please.
One
Sorry,
hour, sir.
sorry. The disturbance. So now,
Almost 1 hour.
1 hour over. Huh? Okay, good. Thank you. We will stop this. Oh, boy.